luckily we're in a position where we're going to name the same squad, so the same squad of 14 as the last game. And we still need to hear a little bit more and know a little bit more on where Ben's at. Unfortunately, because of the weather today, he wasn't able to bowl outside. So we probably have to wait on that throughout tonight and make a decision in the morning. But what we have got with that squad of players is we've got a number of different options we can go down and feel that we've got everything to cover the conditions and the pitch. And whatever that throws at us, we feel like we'll have an answer. Yeah, I think so. I think that naturally, having played some more cricket, some competitive cricket, some high intense test cricket will definitely serve us well going into this series, and it probably gives a little bit of a head start. I think obviously as well, playing in our own conditions and having good success at this ground and the previous 2 test matches will fill our group with a huge amount of confidence. I think it's really important that we don't take that for granted, and we're very aware that Pakistan are a very talented team and will be very much up for this series. And we don't sort of stroll into this game. We're very much on it from the start. But I do feel that should play in our favour slightly, yeah. Yeah, it's like telling him after 9 overs on the bounce not to bowl. Try and take the ball out of his hand, it's very difficult. He's so committed to the team and to the cause that he will always put his body on the line. And it's, I suppose, the more he's played and the older he's got, the more mature he's got, he has got better at understanding that there are limitations to what he can do sometimes, even though those limitations are probably further for him than a lot of other players. He's definitely matured in that aspect and knows how important he is within our group and what an asset he is moving forward. And he's definitely getting better at looking after himself, and I think it's really important that we look after him well as well. Well, I think they've got a very talented bowling group, similar to the West Indies. They've got some very good seamers and some experienced leg spinners as well within the squad. So there'll be different challenges, ball spinning away from the bat for the right-handers for one. And the seam attack, it will have a slightly different makeup. You've got left arm angles within their squad. Some raw pace and some young talent that we won't have seen and come across before in Test match cricket. And then you've got wily campaigners like Mohammad Abbas, who's proven on previous tours here and in county cricket that he knows the conditions very well and will look to exploit some lateral movement. So in terms of their bowling, we know that they pose a lot of challenges, but we're very aware of that and we'll look to counter that the best we can. And I think it's really important for us. We're aware of everything that they'll have and throw at us, but ultimately we continue to keep looking at our own games and our own plans and find ways of making big scores. As been mentioned before, he's one of those players that a lot of the time, in recent times anyway, he's coming in situations where he has had to be very selfless. And he's always someone that will put the team's best interest first and try and play that situation that's in front of him. And you've seen it countless times him do it in white ball cricket. It is slightly harder probably in Test match cricket to play that aggressive roll down the order with no restrictions and limitations on fields and how wide you can bowl and stuff like that. So to get a gauge of how much margin for our bowlers had is a lot tougher. But I feel like he is someone that is playing some really good cricket and practicing extremely well. He just has to put that out into the middle now. We all know what talent he is. It's for him to now go out there and do that out on the field. Yeah, but again, that's all part and parcel of professional sport, unfortunately. And if we want to be the number one side in the world, we're going to have a battery of fast bowlers and a number of guys that can come in and perform at any given stage, especially if we're playing back-to-back games within series. It's really important that we have options and that we can rotate our bowlers if guys are a bit sore or have pulled up a bit stiff and have a slight injury concern. So I think for the longevity of this team, it's really important that we continue to keep looking after our bowlers. We make smart decisions at the right times, and we'll get judged on that through results. But it is tough, but it's a good tough. I've watched a lot of footage. Very exciting prospect. Looks like he's very skillful, got a bit of pace. So you just have to get out there and try and gauge it. You don't really know. I mean, you can speak to people as much as you want and watch as much footage until you get out there and you get a feel for it. You don't really know what you're up against. So it's important that we just start well as a group against him and individually, know what he's going to try and do, or try and have an idea of what he's going to do beforehand, and play every ball on merit. Yeah, it's something that we want to get right this week. I mentioned that earlier. It is disappointing. It's always hard work when you feel like you're behind the game within the series, and we want to make sure that we start well this time round. Fortunately, we've got 3 games under our belt coming into this, and we've played some really good cricket in the last 2. So guys are up to speed. We're familiar with the rhythm of Test cricket, and there is no excuse really going into this week. But it's something that we want to get right. We're very aware of it, and I think more importantly, we just got to make sure that we play the conditions, the situation, what's in front of us, well for long periods of time, as we did in the last 2 games.